A lot of fans are expressing genuine concern about Bianca Belair's situation right now, and it's understandable given how things have unfolded over the past year. We're going to dive into the latest updates on her, as well as touch on some developments with the Bella twins that have raised eyebrows among the WWE community. There's a big worry brewing around these stories, and we'll explore them in detail, starting with Bianca Belair's ongoing absence, which has really started to unsettle her supporters. It's been a while since we've seen her in action, and the lack of information is fueling all sorts of speculation. Bianca's last in-ring appearance was almost exactly a year ago at WrestleMania 41. That event featured a high-stakes triple threat match where she faced off against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. It was an intense bout, full of athleticism and drama, but unfortunately, it ended on a sour note for Bianca. During one particularly brutal spot, her hand took a severe hit. It was crushed in a way that initially seemed manageable. Bianca herself downplayed it at first, describing it as just a couple of broken fingers. In the world of professional wrestling, where injuries are part of the territory, this didn't sound like a career-threatening issue. Fans and analysts alike figured she'd be sidelined for a few weeks, maybe a couple of months at most, before making her triumphant return. After all, it wasn't something as debilitating as a torn rotator cuff or an ACL tear, which can keep wrestlers out for extended periods and require intensive rehabilitation. The optimism was widespread. People imagined her bouncing back quickly, perhaps even stronger than before, ready to reclaim her spot at the top of the women's division. And for a little while, it seemed like that might be the case. Bianca made several non-wrestling appearances in the months following the injury, keeping her visible and engaged with the WWE universe. Her most notable role came as a special guest referee in the match between Jade Cargill and Naomi at the Evolution pay-per-view. That was a clever booking decision. It allowed Bianca to stay involved without risking further damage to her hand. The way she interacted during that match, especially with Jade, planted some intriguing seeds for future storylines. There was this underlying tension, a hint of rivalry that fans picked up on immediately. It felt like WWE was subtly building toward a showdown between these two powerhouses, something that could headline a major event down the line. But then, almost abruptly, Bianca vanished from WWE programming altogether. No more cameo appearances, no social media teasers about her recovery, nothing. Around the same time, she provided a more detailed update on her injury via her own channels. It turned out that what was initially thought to be broken fingers was actually something more complex, a broken and crushed knuckle. Her finger remained swollen, stiff, and unable to bend properly, which is a nightmare for any wrestler. In the ring, flexibility and grip strength are crucial. A stiff finger could lead to awkward movements, increased vulnerability, and potentially another injury that's even worse. Bianca emphasized that she couldn't risk stepping back into competition until it was fully healed. Surgery was mentioned as a possible option if natural recovery didn't progress, but there's been no confirmation on whether she went under the knife. Reports on that front have been scarce, leaving everyone in the dark. Since April 2025, when she last wrestled, Bianca has been completely out of the ring. By July 2025, even her non-wrestling roles dried up, marking a full disappearance from the WWE landscape. What began as a seemingly minor setback has evolved into a prolonged absence that's now stretching into its second year. This shift has transformed initial optimism into widespread anxiety among fans. Social media is buzzing with questions. Is the injury far more severe than we realized? Has there been a complication in her recovery? Or is there something else at play, like creative decisions behind the scenes? The silence from WWE and Bianca herself isn't helping. It's only amplifying the concerns. Adding fuel to this fire was the 2026 Women's Royal Rumble. Leading up to the event, Bianca was pegged as a strong candidate for a surprise return. Betting odds had her as one of the favorites, not just to enter but potentially to win the whole thing. Many pundits place her second only to Liv Morgan in terms of likelihood to emerge victorious. The Rumble is traditionally a platform for big comebacks. Think of the electricity when a fan-favorite superstar's music hits after months away. Fans were envisioning that moment for Bianca, the crowd erupting as she eliminates competitors, setting the stage for a WrestleMania storyline. But none of that materialized. No entrance, no victory, no sign of her at all. This non-appearance has led to even greater worry. If she wasn't ready for the Rumble, does that mean she'll miss WrestleMania 42 entirely? The road to WrestleMania typically kicks off with a Rumble, and missing that key event feels like a missed opportunity for a seamless return. Now, speculation is rampant about what's really going on. Some wonder if the injury has complications that extend beyond the physical. Perhaps mental health considerations or personal matters are involved, though there's no evidence to support that. Others theorize that she's medically cleared, but WWE has alternate plans for her reintroduction that didn't align with the Rumble format. Maybe they are saving her for a bigger splash later on. But the truth is, reliable information is hard to come by. Wrestling journalists and insiders seem as clueless as the fans, with no leaks from the Performance Center or internal meetings mentioning her name. This vacuum of news is unusual for star Bianca's caliber. She's not just any wrestler. She's a multiple-time champion, a trailblazer in the division, known for her charisma, athleticism, and signature hair whip. One of the most tantalizing possibilities tied to Bianca's potential return is a feud with Jade Cargill. Their history dates back to 2024, when Jade made her explosive debut in the Women's Royal Rumble. In that match, there was a memorable standoff where Bianca and Jade flexed their muscles at each other, showcasing their strength and essentially teasing a future clash. It was a moment that stuck with fans, hinting at a dream matchup between two of the most dominant women in WWE. Fast forward to 2025 and beyond, and Jade has been on an unstoppable run as the WWE Women's Champion. She's portrayed as this invincible tyrant, bulldozing through challenges with her power and presence. No one has been able to dethrone her, creating a narrative ripe for a heroic challenger. Enter Bianca Belair. Given their shared history and the seeds planted at Evolution, a storyline where Bianca returned to confront Jade makes perfect sense. Imagine Bianca trying to reason with Jade, appealing to their past camaraderie, only for it to turn personal when Jade rebuffs her. This could culminate in a blockbuster match at WrestleMania 42, pitting strength against strength, charisma against charisma. It's the kind of bout that could main event a night and draw massive interest. With Liv Morgan likely using her Rumble win to challenge for the Women's World title on Raw, Jade's championship on SmackDown remains open for a high-profile defense. All the pieces seem to fit, except for Bianca's absence. Is there still hope for a return during the road to WrestleMania? Absolutely. Events like Elimination Chamber have a history of delivering surprises. Last year's Chamber was packed with returns and pivotal moments that shaped the WrestleMania card. We could see something similar in 2026. Picture this. Jade defends her title successfully, then takes things too far in a post-match beatdown. The lights dim, Bianca's music hits, and she storms the ring to make the save or confront her rival. It would be an electrifying moment, reigniting fan excitement and setting up their WrestleMania encounter. The potential is there, but the radio silence is deafening. No sightings of the Performance Center, no whispers of creative plans, nothing. This lack of buzz has some fans doubting if a return is imminent at all. Perhaps her recovery is taking longer, or WWE is holding her back for a different storyline. Whatever the case, the Bianca Belair situation is one we'll continue monitoring closely. For now, the updates are minimal, and that's the latest on her front. Shifting gears, let's discuss the recent developments with the Bella twins, because there's been a questionable creative choice that's left many scratching their heads. It fits into a pattern we've seen in WWE booking lately, and it's worth unpacking. Nikki Bella made her comeback last summer as a babyface, teaming up with Stephanie in what seemed like a feel-good alliance. Over several weeks, WWE built tension, teasing Nikki's potential heel turn. The payoff came when she betrayed Stephanie, flipping to the villainous side. This was an exciting development for a lot of reasons. Nikki hadn't been a heel in about a decade, so it was a chance to refresh her character, tap into that edgy persona fans remembered from her earlier days, and explore new dynamics in the women's division. The heel turn generated buzz. Fans were intrigued by where it might lead. Would Nikki form new alliances? Target specific rivals? It opened up storytelling possibilities. But then, at the 2026 Royal Rumble, Brie Bella made her return, and shortly after on Raw, the sisters reunited to declare their intentions for the tag team titles. On the surface, this is fantastic news. The Bella twins are legends in WWE, pioneers who helped elevate women's wrestling. Having them back on the road, chasing gold together, is a treat for longtime fans and a boost for the tag division, which often needs star power. However, there's a glaring issue here. Nikki's heel turn happened just 2 months prior, and now she's suddenly a babyface again, with no explanation or transitional storyline. It's as if that entire arc was wiped from existence. This kind of abrupt shift is frustrating for viewers. It undermines the investment fans make in narratives. You build something up, establish character motivations, and then pretend it never happened, like using a memory-erasing device from a sci-fi movie. It insults the audience's intelligence and breaks emotion. We've seen similar instances in recent years. Take John Cena's 2025 run. He turned babyface out of nowhere, with no build-up or rationale. Or the Ron Killings persona, which was introduced with fanfare only to be dropped unceremoniously. Nikki seems to be joining this unfortunate trend, where her heel persona is erased without acknowledgement. This decision misses an opportunity to create compelling drama within the Bella Twins reunion. Instead of flipping Nikki back to babyface seamlessly, WWE could have leaned into the contrast between the sisters. Nikki, fresh off her heel turn, could embody that antagonistic mindset, scheming, taking shortcuts, viewing the world through a villain's lens. Brie, on the other hand, has always been the wholesome, honorable babyface, committed to doing things the right way. This dichotomy could spark an internal conflict, a tug-of-war where each sister tries to influence the other. Brie attempts to pull Nikki back to the light, while Nikki tempts Brie with the allure of heel tactics. It would add layers to their tag team run, moments of tension during matches, backstage arguments, and eventual resolution that strengthens their bond or leads to a split. Imagine the storytelling potential. In a tag match, Nikki might resort to underhanded moves to secure a win, only for Brie to confront her afterward, questioning if that's who they want to be. Over time, this could build to a pivotal moment where one sister's philosophy prevails, or they find a middle ground. It would honor Nikki's recent character development rather than discarding it. Fans would appreciate the nuance, as it reflects real-life sibling dynamics, differing perspectives clashing but ultimately uniting. Instead, by ignoring the heel turn, WWE risks alienating viewers who feel the continuity is being disrespected. That said, the Bella Twins' return is still a positive for the tag division. Their experience, star power, and chemistry could elevate lesser-known teams, create memorable matches, and draw casual fans back in. Nikki and Brie have a storied history, from their early days as valets to becoming champions and Hall of Famers. Seeing them pursue the titles again evokes nostalgia while injecting fresh energy. Perhaps they'll feud with current champs or form alliances that shake up the landscape. Despite the booking gripe, the overall excitement is palpable. Wrapping up these stories, it's clear WWE has some intriguing threads but also areas for improvement in consistency. Bianca's absence looms large, with fans hoping for clarity and a return soon. The Bella Twins reunion is thrilling, yet the handling of Nikki's character shift leaves room for criticism. What do you think about all this? Share your opinions in the comments. Do you believe Bianca will make it to WrestleMania 42? How should WWE address the Bella Twins dynamic? If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more WWE insights. Thanks for tuning in. To expand on Bianca Belair's impact in WWE, it's worth recalling her rise to prominence. Debuting in NXT, she quickly stood out with her athletic background. She was a track and field star in college, which translated into incredible in-ring agility. Her main roster call-up in 2020 was a game-changer. She won the Royal Rumble in 2021 and headlined WrestleMania that year against Sasha Banks, making history as part of the first women's main event featuring 2 black women. Bianca's EST gimmick. The EST of WWE, meaning the strongest, toughest, etc., resonated because it was backed by her performances. She's held multiple titles, including the Raw Women's Championship and Tag Team Gold with various partners. Her injury at WrestleMania 41 was particularly heartbreaking because it came during a peak period. The triple threat with Rhea and Io was designed to showcase the division's top talent, but the botched spot, likely a high-impact move gone awry, changed everything. In wrestling, hand injuries can be deceptive. What seems minor can affect grip, which is essential for grapples, strikes, and even basic maneuvers like climbing the ropes. Bianca's updates on social media showed the swelling persisting, with photos illustrating the stiffness. Fans rallied around her, sending well wishes, but as months passed without progress, support turned to concern. The absence has also highlighted how much the women's division misses her. Without Bianca, storylines feel a bit thinner. She's a versatile performer who can feud with anyone, from technicians like Io to powerhouses like Rhea. Her potential match with Jade Cargill is especially mouth-watering because both women represent a new era of strength in WWE. Jade, with her undefeated streak and imposing physique, versus Bianca's speed and resilience. It's a clash of styles that could produce classic moments. The tease at Jade's debut Rumble in 2024 was no accident. WWE plants these seeds intentionally to build long-term anticipation. Regarding the Royal Rumble 2026, the event itself was solid, with Liv Morgan's win setting up a Raw title challenge. But Bianca's no-show was a notable omission. Rumors swirled pre-event about possible returns, including Hayes, but when the countdowns came and went without her entrance, disappointment set in. Social media exploded with hashtags like #WhereIsBianca and #BringBackEST. Some fans theorized creative differences or contract issues, though those seem unfounded. More likely, it's the injury lingering. If surgery did happen, recovery timelines for hand procedures can vary. Some wrestlers return in months. Others take longer if complications arise, like nerve damage or infection. Looking ahead to Elimination Chamber, the event's format lends itself to surprises. Held in an international venue often, it features the brutal chamber matches but also standalone bouts where returns can happen. A Bianca appearance that could mirror past years, like when Edge returned in 2021 to win the men's chamber. For the women's side, if Jade is defending, a post-match intervention by Bianca would pop the crowd huge. It aligns with WWE's pattern of using mid-road events to escalate feuds toward Mania. On the flip side, if silence persists, fans might start fearing a longer hiatus or even retirement, though that's premature. Bianca is only in her mid-30s, prime for wrestling, and has expressed passion for the business. Perhaps she's using this time for personal growth, like family or outside ventures. She's dabbled in acting and fashion. Whatever the case, transparency from WWE would ease minds. Turning back to the Bella twins, their legacy is undeniable. Nikki and Brie, originally the Garcia twins, broke in during the Divas era but helped transition to the women's revolution. Nikki's record-breaking Divas championship reign in 2015 to 2016 showcased her as a workhorse. Brie, with a Daniel Bryan connection, brought heart. Their twin magic gimmick, switching places, added fun to matches. Nikki's 2025 return as a babyface was warmly received, teaming with Stephanie built to the betrayal, a classic wrestling trope. The heel Nikki was promising, more aggressive promos, edgy attire, perhaps aligning with villains. But reuniting with Brie reset everything. On Raw, they appeared united, targeting the tags without addressing Nikki's shift. It's lazy booking, akin to retconning in comics. A better approach, exploit the heel or babyface divide for drama. Early matches could show Nikki cheating, Brie disapproving. Promos where they argue philosophies, Nikki saying winning at all costs, Brie advocating fairness. This could culminate at a PPV, maybe a tag title win where Brie's influence redeems Nikki, or vice versa. It adds depth, making their run memorable beyond nostalgia. The tag division benefits regardless. Teams like Damage Control or Chelsea Green and Piper Niven could feud with them, elevating everyone. The Bella's media savvy, podcast, reality TV, brings crossover appeal. In summary, these stories highlight WWE's strengths and flaws, star power versus inconsistent narratives. Fans remain invested, hoping for resolutions that honor the talent. Your thoughts? Engage below.